In this demo, we're going to take a look at how to install the remote access service inside of Windows Server 2008. You're going to see that's actually fairly simple to go through and install this service. The way we're going to do that in here is we're going to go through inside of Server Manager. So I'm going to click on Server Manager here. Now once I open Server Manager, as you can see I've done here, I'll expand this out. I'm going to go here to Roles, and then once I'm going to inside of Roles, I'm going to move over here to where it says Add Roles. Click on Add Roles. My wizard, my very familiar wizard, comes up. I'm going to click on Next, and then I'm going to go down the list here and hit this guy right here, Network Policy and Access Service, because you can see on there, what does this do? It provides network policy server, routing remote access, which is what we want, and a couple other things. So I'm going to go ahead and check that in. Click Next. It's going to do the same familiar, this is what the service does, this is what you should know ahead of time before installing it, links for other information just in case you want to do some more research. I'm going to go ahead and click Next. It's going to say, what do you want to install? Well, I want to install the routing remote access service. That's all I want. So I'm going to go ahead and check that in. I will click Next. It's going to tell me, okay, this is what's going to happen. Good. It's going to install routing remote access. That's what I want. So I'll click Install, and it's going to go through the process. Now, while this is going through and installing, just a little point on here. For those of you that have worked with previous versions of Windows, you're going to note that there's not a specific routing remote access or standalone routing remote access to install anymore. We used to be able to go through and add in just the routing remote access itself. Now we have to go to this network policy and access service to do it. So you're going to want to keep that in mind when you're getting this ready. Is you're going to go through and go to the network policy and access service and then choose the routing remote access service from there, because it's not its own thing off to the side. And the idea being that a lot of things that are in network policy and access service in that role, that when you enable it, they all tend to be related in some way, shape, or form. You saw a network policy server or service in there. Well, that's taken the role of Radius. Well, Radius works with this technology, so they just bundled it in together with that, and you just choose the things off the menu that you want to go through and use. So that's what we are going through and seeing. So what we see here now is we see that the routing remote access is finishing up right now. We're looking and we can see it kind of rolling through, and it should finish up here in a moment or two. And once we're done, what we're going to do is we're going to go through and verify that this has actually been installed. So as always, we'll review the warning messages, review to make sure it installed what we wanted, so everything was correct. I'm going to go ahead and click Close. Now you can see on here the network policy and access service. You can see a little red dot over here saying, okay, something's not quite right. I'm going to go over to network policy and access service. Now what I would expect to go through and see on here is that I haven't really gone through and configured it yet, so I would expect to see these sorts of problems right now. We will go through and configure that, but right now it's not configured, so I do expect it to throw error messages out at me telling me, well, hold on, something's not right. So in our next demo, we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the post-installation configuration needs to be done.